Hey everybody, welcome. Hey
Check,
Chris.
check.
Yeah, you're kind of low.
Am I?
Yeah,
Can you hear me at all?
sounds a little low on my end.
Okay, give me
Yeah,
a second.
you raise it up
Give me a second.
or raise me down or
Yeah, you're
put me
good.
down
You're
or
good.
stomp on me.
You're good.
You
Hang on.
sound, nah, yeah, you're low.
Yeah, give me a
Come
second.
on,
I'm in
man.
the wrong one. Hang on.
Pre
Gotta
Press the
turn this
button
one.
the other way. Hey, it's IFB, and we're having
There we go. Now
some
we're good.
adjustments made because the Cylons are messing with this transmission. So, in the
Colonials.
meantime, it's Interfleet Broadcasting.
It's the Colonials are messing with
And
it.
well, I don't know who's messing with it, but somebody is.
Yep.
Somebody's messing with the broadcast.
Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. A
We
day
are.
early. So if you're
Yep.
watching this, tomorrow we're doing a little time travel. So we're broadcasting a day before for tomorrow.
Actually,
Happy
if
Thanksgiving,
Baz
everybody.
is on, then we're broadcasting
It's
on the right day.
right, but he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving like we
I
do.
know. I know. But we wanted to be inclusive. It doesn't matter
We are
what
inclusive.
continent or country you're from.
No, it doesn't
Uh,
matter.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is a holiday for all continents, all people.
For everybody.
That's it. It's a day to
That's it.
be
Welcome to,
thankful.
welcome. Yes, welcome to our show, IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. It's our little corner of the universe where we actually cover pop culture and science fiction, and we have a great team, right, Chris? We got a great
Oh, we got an
team,
awesome team.
and we're very grateful to John One and Tiny Bean Tara and George from Spartan Red Productions, and want to thank them specifically, right? And first,
Yep.
however, outside of the team, Chris, we got to thank our families for
Putting
tolerating
up
all
with
this.
us.
Yes,
Like right
and
now.
so I'm
Like my wife is
yeah
like, I can't watch TV while you're broadcasting. No,
no no,
because I'm
and
in the
thanks,
room.
Chris,
Yeah.
for taking care of all the technical stuff.
Oh, well, thank you for doing all the interviews and being my best friend.
That's it.
So,
Beautiful, love
and
it.
we're thankful for all the people that join us regularly. Lola and Baz and I mean I can't name everybody, but we right now Sean, Jeff, everybody that we can thank to join us. We really appreciate it. You are
Mediocre
steady
monitor,
fans. What?
Charlene and
Charlene,
Carl
Carl,
and
yep,
Paul Roeder
Paul,
and Linda,
yep,
and you said, let's see, Peter Noble, Joseph Hadley, Joe Bodouin Jr. from
hmm
Battlestar Wiki. He's coming on the show. He's got some great stuff coming, and we'll figure out. I got to figure out how to pronounce his name correctly.
that
And
would be
Chris
helpful.
Dykes and Chris Laskowski. I think I got that
Yeah,
right.
he's Australian.
Eric Patton.
Yep.
Yeah. And a whole bunch of others, Jeff, and everybody else that comes on regularly. We have a lot of live participants that come on. So thanks for joining us live, guys, and everybody else from all the different groups. Basically, all the admins and moderators and all you guys that have been with us and support us, and some of you have been guests on the show already. So
Yep.
thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate the support, right, Chris?
Oh, definitely. So it's nice to, Pete and I would be doing this no matter what, but it's nice to have people that listen to us and
And support.
comment and
Yep.
participate. Yeah. So,
So thanks,
yeah. So
guys.
Thanksgiving, I know a lot of y'all are getting ready for the Turkey Day tomorrow, and a lot of stresses going on for some people trying to get the turkey done, making the pies. I think we kind of gave that up last year. We do have we go to a friend's house every year, and she has a lot of people over, and she used to stress out and get all the stuff done. We finally gave in and had it catered. So,
Okay.
so somebody is got it all catered and they're going to bring it in and we drop it on the table. We don't have to worry about it at all anymore. So it was stressful for a while. She got a little older. My wife got a little older. Everybody's just doesn't want to deal with all that. So we all chip in money now, and this will be our first year catering the event. But we always have a good time. That's what we do. What are you doing, Pete?
Well, I'm gonna actually meet up with family, which is always a cool thing to do, and just enjoy our traditional Thanksgiving with family,
That's good.
which we don't get to do that often. So it'll be kind of nice, and we hope that everybody else has plans, and we hope that all of you that are able to celebrate will with your friends and loved ones, and we are grateful for you guys again and again. We keep saying the same thing. We have a really nice group of supporters and fan base, Chris, and
Oh yeah.
everyone that's given us the thumbs up and the views, and the show has grown tremendously from just you and I watching and two people on with us, and we're approaching tens of thousands at this rate, and it's great, and we thank you all. So today we're gonna do our toast, right, Chris?
Yeah. So today we have I have Pete's posted up there. Hang on. So this one is a special beer. Uh, this one we got at Alcon. Some places, it's different cons actually have beers that are sponsored by. So this one is actually sponsored for Alcon. So we got these while we were there, and we finally got to them. It's called Mecca Hopzilla, and it's got a bear on the front cover that looks like he's part cyborg, and it says, where is it? Anything on the side? Surgeon General. Nothing major there. It is. Yeah, it's a hazy IPA, 6.8. Actually, a 1 pint bottle, and it's kind of interesting. It's an independent craft. It's actually Pete and I went to the brewery and got these. It's an LBTQ plus owned brewery, and it is diversity is delicious. So this is Mecca Hopzilla. Mecca Hopzilla.
Veteran owned.
Veteran owned. Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is. Yep. Certified independent. Please
yep,
recycle.
very cool. And that's a free spot for them. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get any
We bought
royalties
these
for
while we
that.
were there at
Yep.
DC. Says
Oh yeah,
made in DC. All right. So if you can get this closer to my microphone, you ready?
yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Go.
One, two. Yeah. Oh, it smells good.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I remember drinking this there, but ready? Oh, it's definitely hazy. It's
It is.
definitely not clear. It's definitely a hazy
No.
color. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can see that or not.
So let's get ready to toast.
It's a little foamy,
A little
but
foamy,
it's
but
got
that's
a
okay. Foamy's
got a good
okay.
aroma to it.
Oh, very much.
I need more room on my small spot over here. I'll put that over there. The cat will probably knock it down.
The cat's gonna come drink it.
I don't know. She'll be
You can have
out
a
sooner
drunk
or
cat.
later. Cool. I'm ready. You ready?
All right, I am ready.
All right. So here's to the fans. We are very thankful, and we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And we know that the fans fuel the fleet. So here's to you. Pete,
Here's
got
to you
anything?
guys. All right. Oh, that's.
Foamy.
It tastes like a grapefruit to me.
It does. I think it does have.
Yeah.
It doesn't say a listing. It has a grapefruitish Definitely grapefruit. I think that's what.
Tastes like a
Yeah.
grapefruit to me. It does.
Whoops.
I think it does have. Yeah.
All right, we're getting feedback there, Pete.
It has a
Can turn that down.
Yeah.
grapefruitish. Definitely
I gotta
grapefruit.
hold on.
I don't need a replay.
It does. Whoops.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm watching actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens at the same time. Little behind the scenes information for all you guys out there. So sometimes it gets a little out of control. So my apologies. But other than that,
See, Jeff's right. Jeff Walters said, "No spanking the monkey." The real hero, Muffet. Evie the chimp.
oh boy.
Actually,
All right.
tonight
Well,
we have an awesome story inside the comic book, which we thought we had gone through all of the Realm comics.
that's right.
But we
So
interviewed
there is
J.C. Vaughn last week. And
did.
he mentioned this one. And I'm like, I don't think we did that one.
Nope.
So I searched and found one.
yes.
So we'll do that one tonight. And we have...
Yes, and that's
Battle
going to be the
Molukai.
Realm Press Battlestar Galactica Gallery Special 1.
Yep.
And yeah, that one. That's it. It's got some really cool stuff.
Oh, the artwork in it's
besides
amazing.
the cover, and I think some short stories, right, Chris?
Two stories. Yep. One
Two
really
stories.
good and one really, really good.
Okay, cool. And I guess we're also, after that, everybody, we're going to go back to Battle of Malachi. And that'll be chapter 3 tonight. And it's another great chapter. And we want to make sure that we gave you some entertainment for tomorrow during the holiday itself. And you could play this, and we'll just tell you all about the comic book, and then we'll talk about the Battle of Malachi, chapter 3. If you guys are following along, it's really great. Highly recommend. I never read this back in the day when it came out. Chris was really bigger into the fanzines. I knew all about them, but I was always trying to hunt down the magazines that I didn't have, like the Star Logs and anything else that, Galactica was in and that kind of stuff. So I neglected my fanzines, and now I'm catching up, and this is definitely a great story. So
Well,
I'm
speaking of that,
hoping you guys get to
Okay.
read.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
you found something I had never heard of before. Do you want to talk about that?
Yep. Yeah. So Chris and I, we've been creating our own spreadsheet, and we're cataloging all the different comic books and the writers and the artists, and we're trying to catch up with them, as you guys have seen with our videos. And one of the series of comic books that we discovered was Asylum's, from Maximum Press.
I've
Asylum.
never even heard of this before.
Yeah, and they had. So this is
The cover on
a
that.
separate series, and in it is a compilation of short stories, and some of them have multiple parts to them. And this is an example. This is Maximum number 8, and in it is a Battlestar Galactica story. And I'm just going to show you guys real quick
We're going to go through these
this
stories,
particular
right?
one. Say again?
So we'll go through these stories one by one.
Yeah. Look at that. There's Boomer,
That's
and it's called First Date, and it's in black
who's he
and white.
dating?
Oh, he's dating Daedra.
Daedra. Cool.
Yep. And there's a land ram. It's a great story. So that's just one. We'll tell you exactly,
How many are there?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It skips to 7, 8, and then 10 out of this series. This goes on. Asylum has a lot of these, but only the ones I mentioned have Battlestar Galactica stories in them. So on top of, right, so I'm gonna reach down here and grab one of the. Do you have a Maximum Press handy?
Not here. Yeah,
You
they're
don't
all
have
in my
any
other
handy?
house. They're all in
Okay,
the
because
they're all in the
I
base
happen to
star.
have. Yeah, here you go. Look, so this should look familiar to everybody,
That's
right?
amazing.
Those of you that were trying to follow along, right? So this is a Maximum Press Battlestar Galactica. This is a whole other series. This came out before The Realm, and let me show you here. Look at this. This is what the art looks like. It looks really cool. They kind of reimagined everybody a little differently, and Liefeld, who actually put this together, he was a big Battlestar Galactica fan. We met him. We got his autograph, and we spoke to him, and we're working on getting him. He told us that he was interested, very much interested in coming to the show. Chris is working on trying to get him,
Yep, little by little.
and hopefully we will. But he's the one that did this, and out of these, plus the Asylum, there was then the Realm. So there's a lot of history here and a lot of forgotten comic books. So it's great to actually see this stuff. Yeah, Rob Liefeld. Yes, Sean, that's right. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
Rob Liefeld.
yeah,
if you
we're
don't
gonna
know
talk
who he
about
is,
it.
he's the inventor of. He's got the X Force, X Men, no, X Force. I can't remember. All I know him for is. Keep saying Daredevil, but it's not Daredevil. It's
No, it's not that.
what's the
You'll think of it
Deadpool?
because I can't think of it.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
He
Yes,
invented Deadpool, so he's mostly popular and famous for that. But
Yeah, Sean.
we like Battlestar Galactica stuff he's done.
Yeah, he was a huge fan. I just finished reading. I found a great interview in Starlog magazine, and I believe it's Starlog number 222. It has the Space and Above main characters on the cover of that Starlog, and it's a 3 or 4 page interview that came out at the time that that Rob Liefeld was doing these, right? So if you get a chance to look that up, it's really really good. And by the way, Chris Tucker, thanks for joining us live. And Sean says he has some of those, and yes, Rob Liefeld. So yeah, if you guys come up with any comments on on those particular comic books, please let us know. And if there's any of them that we missed out there,
Yeah, like this one.
let us know.
I mean, I didn't even know
Yeah.
we missed it until Mr. Vaughn talked to us last week. Was it last week? It was last week, right? Yeah. What a great interview that was. If you get a chance, check him out. That was a real eye-opening experience.
It was really good. Sean just said something. He said Liefeld worked with Richard too, as Richard did an arc for him called Apollo's Journey.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
And by the
that's
way,
Maximum.
Chris, if anyone that's watching is interested in picking up any original art from Chris Scalf, let us know, because we have a way to get in touch with him. So he still does have some artwork out there in case anyone, holidays are coming up. If you're interested in any of his artwork, please let us know and we can get in touch with him for you.
Yeah, we can send you a list of what he has.
Yeah, and you can contact him, or we can give him a heads up that you're interested.
Yep.
And so
We can do a group order.
It's the holidays.
Maybe do a group order if you want to do something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's getting rid of a lot of his stuff.
Cool.
Hang on.
So
Oh, excuse me.
are you okay?
Yeah, I don't have my burp button. I have a button where I can mute if I burp. Now I kind of
Yeah.
I don't have a mute switch. I'd have
Oh,
to go
boy.
all
What
the
are we
way
gonna do
over
with you?
here, and I'm using a trackpad on a laptop, so it takes a little more time to get to it, so I wouldn't get to it in time.
Ah, too bad. All right. Well, Chris, how do you want to proceed? I mean, we usually jump into the comic book at this point.
Yeah, we can do that. So let me
do you
start
wanna
up
do that?
my quasi overhead camera, also known as my
Oh, let's
cell
do it.
phone. So this is
Right,
kind
so
of something neat that you can do with our program. So I'll start that up, turn the light on. Bleep. Oh, look, the light's on.
cool. So we're going to be looking at the Realm Press Battlestar Galactica Gallery Special 1.
Yeah, give him a second.
Oh, Jeff Walters has a Buddha Cylon wish. Hope everyone has an awesome Thanksgiving. That's a good one. We do too. Thanks for remembering that we do have a Cylon Buddha.
So
The artwork is phenomenal on that. Take a look at that.
yeah,
Now
hang
you
on.
got
I think
Starbuck, you got a Cylon, the Galactica, Vipers, Raiders. What about the on the back of it? Can you show us the flip it real quick? Yeah,
So it
look
goes
at that.
across. Hang on, let's do this. Let's find the
You
middle.
can open it up. Ha! It's really nice. Even if you frame that like that, that's really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I'll find another
Yeah.
one, frame that. That looks really cool.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Cylon in the middle.
Oh yeah. Good stuff, man. As Sean
Starbuck looks
just
really
said.
shocked.
Looks
Apollo
good, man.
looks like, yeah.
Team
Oh, look
B.
at that. Yep, hang on. Gotta love my
That's
neighborhood.
not it. That gotta love the racing. It's a holiday here in the States, man.
Yeah.
Give the kids a break, will you please?
That's done by Matt Bush.
Matt Bush. Very nice. That's cool stuff.
So this is the
So
gallery special.
special. And there's a really, we keep saying we keep, joking around about Muffet. And this story is the care and feeding of your Daggett.
Right.
That's the first one. And
So
it's by
we open it up,
Barry.
and this is funny
Yeah.
because this doesn't
Look at
exist.
that. Dire Prophecy. Oh, wow.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Oof.
It says this summer the classic series returns with an all-new episode, written by James Kahorick,
Yep.
Dan Parsons, Greg LaCour. Cover by Chris Galf, based on the Universal Studios. Only in comics, only from Realm. So that
What a
doesn't
shame.
exist.
No, it doesn't. Looks cool, too.
So we first start out with the care feeding your Daggett, which I love this one because, like someone just said earlier, Muffy is the savior of all colonials. And with a phone, I can actually get in close here. So we actually have, Apollo putting Boxy to bed, and he's saying things like, you need to say goodnight to Muffet. And he's like, no, you don't say, Dad. I said, all right, Boxy. All right, shut your eyes. So this is great because now you're seeing through the eyes of Muffet.
Nice.
So he has a status waiting, and then he says, good night, Muffet. And then it comes down to property, run subroutine, pressure detect, return wagtail. So if you somebody, oh, and by the way, this is the way they did this. This is they have programming, interface, output, debugger. This is all so. Like for instance, J.C. Vaughn was the editor. They call the editor the debugger. So and then Jim Kahorick's quality control. So it's really cool. So it starts out that way, and then it kind of shows a subroutine, status, calculate, property, Boxy, state, sleep. If Boxy state equals sleep, then run sub sleep calc Boxy sleep. So it kind of goes through this, and then IR optics enabled, and then sleep simulation Boxy sleep equals 7 centaurs and 99 centons. And then status, sleep sim, run Boxy sleep 2 centons. And then he wakes up and it goes, status sleep sim ends. If not Boxy present, then Daggett state equals undefined. So they run the subroutine. So search. Now the subroutine for search. So run sub search mode Boxy, and then olfactory, audio level, visual, polysensing. Nothing's all negative, so they can't find them. So he automatically goes out and starts going looking. So he hears voices, and he matches the voices up to Boomer and Giles, and then so this is really how Boxy sees everything. And then there's a conversation going with Boomer and Giles, and then, hey, I bet you're looking for Boxy. And then why am I talking to this thing? So Apollo and Adama are talking, and I love that picture. I like that one right there. That's just the eyeballs. It says, now just a centon. He can't feel joy. So he starts looking. He's keep looking for Boxy, and then he runs into. So you got contact with Starbuck. He runs into Starbuck. Starbuck drops his qubits. Starbuck's nice though. He says, "Oh, yeah, you made me drop my qubits, little guy." I says, "What are you doing on your own?" And then this is when he learns that Boxy is probably in the. Oh, you okay? Sneeze?
Yeah, I just read ahead.
He's a rejuvenation center, so he starts looking for the rejuvenation center, and he plots a course, and then he takes off running, and then the destination is so far away, and he hears Lieutenant Athena. It says voice match 0.9999988, and then status terminate search mode. There's Boxy. So he's happy, and then really great picture here of Muffet, and then I like this part of it. It says, if Boxy present, then Daggett state equals joy.
Hey, go back to the colonial warrior at the table. No. Same. Go back to that other page. He's eating, and he's like really annoyed. He's like all bent. Look at him.
And Athena's a redhead.
Going on here.
So that's cool.
Food's everywhere.
So the great thing about this is also a lot of covers and original art is in this, because it is a gallery special. So we have some gallery stuff in here. Let me try to get a better shot of it.
Oh yeah.
So this is
Cool.
Matt Bush. This is his picture. Let me get a close up for you. Kind of scan
That's nice.
that down.
Look at that.
Really great pictures.
Oh yeah.
So it's Matt Bush. There's another great picture. This one's Chris Scalf. You can tell by the way it's painted. So let me give you an overhead shot of that first.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Got the moon.
And that's the ad for that other comic book that never came up. Hey Baz, welcome.
Yep. So that's Scalf. And then here's another Scalf.
And Izali, thank you for joining us live. We're going through the Realm comic book right now.
So the other side's another Scalf. I like this one because in the background, if you look really close.
Oh, the Imperious Leader's there.
Imperious Leader's there. Along with
and there's Lucifer.
And this
That's
is a really
beautiful,
nice
look at that
painting of Starbuck. I mean, it's really good
nice.
likeness.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, the Cylons are chasing them now. That's what it's supposed
look
to
at
be.
the Sheba's the next one.
Yeah. Quit looking ahead. So
I'm
these are
cheating.
also by Chris Scalf. I was on the left. So
Oh
this is,
boy,
I love this one. This one's beautiful.
it is.
So we'll get a little closer view of this one.
Oh my God, that's a nice one.
Got the Galactica. And it's got some larger ships with it. And then the eyes. Wow, look at those eyes. Scalf
That's
is
nice.
just really good at this.
Oh yeah, that's
I wish I
cool.
could have the original of this one. And it's the Pegasus.
Wow, that's cool. Way cool.
And it's got the three of them together too.
Yeah.
And the next one's another by Matt Bush. So this is
Actually, that's an 8x10 also that Jack Stauffer signs at conventions.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
I did not know.
Yeah.
So this is cool. 2 pistols.
It's a nice one. Yeah, Jack likes that one a lot.
And we have a couple more. This one is by Gene Gonzalez.
Oh, look, the two brothers.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, who would have known? I mean, I didn't see this on the stands when it came out.
Yeah.
So,
This is Gene Gonzalez too. I get a full shot of that first. And then we'll come down and look closer.
wow, that's pretty cool. There's some
That
really
says
nice artwork here.
1999.
Whoa, what is this?
What? What is what?
The next one.
Oh, the next one?
Yeah,
Yeah, these are
look at this.
art from the upcoming Battlestar Galactica Dire Prophecy. This is the one that did not get made. So, full shot. And then we'll get close.
That's really nice, man.
Looks like
Oh,
we got a
wow.
little bit of
There's
a
Boomer.
jolly there.
That's
Look at
cool.
the mustache on this dude. Man, I wish I had
Yeah.
a mustache like that.
I did once upon a time.
I worked on it.
Oh,
And then
there's some cool stuff. Welcome, George.
this is the other
Better
one.
late than never. That's right.
There we go. A little close on this one. I don't know
Oh,
what
look
that
at that.
thing is
Looks
there.
like Colonel Ty's losing his cool.
Yep. It's a good shot of, or a good drawing of Colonel Ty.
Yeah, go down.
Yep.
Now look at that. That's a great one. Oh,
These are all
boy.
done by Dan Parsons. Now this was
Oh,
this was like I
great.
said, the upcoming Dire Prophecy. This did not get made.
nope, it did not.
Oh my. Another
That's
shot.
cool. That's awesome.
Start from the top.
Wow. This is good stuff, man. I'm glad we got a chance to share this with everybody. The artwork is incredible. And JC Vaughn, of course, came on, and we're working on getting him back on with some of his team that he was involved in. And so that's in the works, guys, because some of this stuff is definitely worth talking about with him. And not to mention, Chris, that J.C. Vaughn and the crew were bona fide Battlestar Galactica fans.
Yes.
And we've talked about that many times. Look at the art on that. Look at that. The Battlestar is getting...
Yep. So this
hit.
is the next story. It's called Masquerade. And in this story is the Galactica is under heavy attack, and it's bad. They're not gonna. It doesn't look like they're gonna make it. They're saying we're at critical, Commander. The beta landing bay is nearly destroyed, and we're missing 3 pilots from the Blue Squadron. Life support is near failure. Adama, the Galactica is dying. So this is a bad situation, and there's warriors that have been crash landed. So this is one of the crash landings, and they're missing
Wow, look at
warriors. And this is a great story, by the way. And then he's like, "Come on, Starbuck, get up." He gets himself up, and he's kind of limping. He's got an injury, and he's calling in, "Hey, the Recon Viper 3, I need some help. Pilot down." And of course, the Cylons pick it up. So the Cylons pick it up, and they're like, "Hey,
Whoa.
Father, I heard him. I know he's there. I need to go get him." And then he's a big boy. He can handle himself. So Starbucks, I hope I shot that guy down. This is cool. This is where it shot down the Raider, and it looks like a different kind of Raider. And he's frustrated. He says, "I'm so tired of facing these things. We destroy a squadron, they just make more.
Make more.
Nothing ever changes." And then he's like, "What the frack?
What's going on?"
Like, "That's a cool Cylon." He says, "Do not move." He says, "Move? I can barely stand. You are the prisoner, the imperious leader." So this is a cool looking Cylon. And he hits him with his cane. And I don't think so. And then, by the gods. And then, of course, it jumps to something else. So we won't find about that in a minute. And then this is more of a, we need to go find Starbuck and Boomer, and everybody's missing. And now there's a crash into the ship.
Oh boy.
And
there's
this crash landing into the bay, which is kind of, it's scary, but they go in there and they're like, they put out the fire a little bit. It says, "Don't shoot, Starbuck. Get the med techs up here now." So Starbuck brought back the Cylon. And there's the Cylon. And it's like, this is how they fight. This, he's like, "Hey, they fight by us really well. This is the latest improvement." It comes over here. It says, "This is how they can think and fight like us." My gods, it's Boomer. Now, Boomer is in the Cylon suit.
That's bogus.
And then they take Boomer to get help, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what are they going to do?" And it says all these people are missing, including Sheba. And then, of course,
to be continued.
But it's never continued. Would have been a great story. Also inside this issue is something really, really, really cool. They tried, and Pete knows more a little bit about this than I do, but the technical manual. Let me get a good shot of that.
Yeah. You see that? So I mentioned it to J.C. Vaughn, and he talked a little bit about it, and everybody was gaga when this is going to come out. I've actually exchanged information with Ken Thompson, and a lot of the pages have been released. It was never fully completed. However, a lot of the artwork was done, and it was beautiful. And if there's any more pages to that, Chris, man, some of the stuff that they did, and it was the first of many. There it is. Look at that. So I've talked to Ken, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get him on. Working on it. Look at that. That's just crazy cool. Never seen anything like that before. So wish they had finished that.
There's the launch base. Land ram.
Dave, thanks for watching live with us.
Shuttlecraft. It's got
Land
a
ram
whole talk, defense shield generators,
generator. Yeah.
laser turrets. It talks about the approaches.
Silent service.
And
Look
it's
at
got a
that. That
write
is
up
so cool.
up here. Landing Bay Alpha.
Alpha. These are the kind of things that we always wanted to know more about, and there was nothing out there that talked about Galactica like this. And this is something that I
Yep.
would have died to have as a kid, even just a few pages that you're looking at.
Then we've
I
got,
mean, look at that.
this is cool.
That is super cool. Look at that.
This is the bridge.
Oh my God. And the
So,
detail, guys.
got
If
entry,
you can find a
exits.
copy of this, highly recommend. I have my own, and there's nothing like actually having it in your hands and looking at it. Like I said, there's a lot of these images have been, I guess, scanned, so they're out there. I know that a lot of them are on Pinterest, and there's some websites that have some of them. Sometimes they pop up on Facebook from time to time, but they're not as cool as having the actual comic book. It's really,
Sure,
really
sure.
nice. And unfortunately, they never finished it. There's the map, the star map. Love the star map. Yeah, long way from home. And it was,
And there's a
written.
whole write up here.
Yeah,
20 officers work as a team. It talks all about the everything that you wanted to know about the bridge.
huh, that is so cool. I mean, this is the type of stuff that back then or even now, guys. I mean, if we had a chance to get that, that is really, really cool. And unfortunately, it's been all but forgotten. And I'm glad that we got a chance to share this with you because this is really cool stuff. And like we told you, JC Vaughn really, he's a big fan, and
Yep.
hopefully he'll be able to wrangle his other partners and come on back. And that's something that we're looking to do in the new year. So look for that. We'll make sure that we advertise that. And this work is really cool. I mean, these comic books and the artwork, and it's just phenomenal, man. And then hopefully, if we can, swing it, we will definitely try to get Ken Thompson, who worked on that technical side, or we'll try to get you a little bit of some of the other artists or others that are involved in this. So, yeah, all good stuff, guys. And Chris, are you speeding me up, man? What do you did you are you what are you doing? Because it looks like I am in a in another mode. Do you
Got
see?
me.
Can you see? Does anybody
Yeah.
else see that?
I think you
Or is it
caught up.
just me? Paul
That's,
Roder. Oh, I just caught up.
yeah, you were
It was
behind.
saving it all up, and then it just blasted it all out. Paul Roder's on. Paul, thanks for watching live with us, and appreciate the support. And it's Thanksgiving here in the States, a day from today. Today's our live broadcast, but anybody's watching this afterwards, we thank you for supporting and being with us. And Chris is drinking a beer. Chris is always drinking a beer, George. What are you talking about? Carl, hello, all. Carl, thanks for joining us live. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And yeah, we are doing a quick little Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Exactly, Paul.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a good way of putting
Um,
it. I like
yeah,
that.
happy Thanksgiving Eve. We didn't think of that, but thank you, Paul. That's perfect and appropriate. And this way, we figured we would give you guys something that you could watch tomorrow. For those of you that are, thank you. And we see a lot of support. Gobble gobble, yeah, Carl. Tomorrow, traditionally, we do the turkey. Tonight is the prep. So we just did the realm, and earlier we talked a little bit about the Maxim stuff. And we're very grateful for everybody tuning in to IFB and watching, Chris and I, right, Chris?
Yeah, very grateful.
Yes.
Oh,
And
sorry.
so we're getting ready. Oh, you know what, Chris? What we didn't do last week,
What's that?
I wanted to do this real quick. I think we didn't put this up. This is incredible. Look at the
Oh
artwork in
yeah,
this.
we didn't show the artwork.
Yeah, that's cool, right? That's the difference between having an original copy and
And a
just
PDF.
like the PDF. This one I think you did show before, Chris,
Yeah.
which is cool. And so this week we're doing, chapter 3 of the Battle of Molokai. Highly recommended, guys. This is my first read. Chris has read this a few times, and he actually read this. I know, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but you used to read some of the fanzines back in the day,
Yeah, as
closer
soon as
to
I
when
could
they
get a
were
hold of them.
released.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
I
grew up in Wyoming, so it's the only thing I could do is get some of these.
That's cool though. Way cool. I didn't get a chance to do any of that. I was silly enough um, to pursue magazines. Like I was into, reading all of the Star Logs, like I mentioned before, and Starburst, and all the other magazines that were out. That's what I was collecting and hunting down. Because at the conventions back in those days, the dealers would actually bring back issues. And now I think about it, it must have been backbreaking to haul boxes of magazines. I mean, they still do that for the comic books, but now you almost
Oh,
never
rarely.
see anyone bringing, back issues of magazines. And it's too bad. Not to mention fanzines. I remember boxes and boxes of fanzines. One of my conventions that I went to back in the day, which was the my first convention was 1977. But then I remember in the early 80s, there was one dealer in New York City, and he had hundreds of fanzines. And I was dismissive. I was like not in the right state of mind. And back then they were just
Yeah.
cheap. But we have a very nice collection, and this stuff is very very cool. So I'm telling you guys, I'm reading it for the first time, and this one so far is really well written. It's well edited, and the story is tight. And we're now going into chapter 3. And Chris, we are talking about the Pegasus, Commander Kane. We're
Right. You
talking
want to
about the
do a
Fifth
quick
Fleet.
review?
Yeah. So the Fifth Fleet is being sent on a secret mission, and there's some issues going on at the far edges of colonial space. And there's the Delphian Empire, and they're having issues with the Cylons. But there's a planet, the planet of Molukai, and that planet is made up, based on this story, is made up of different races, and they're not all human. And so the colonials have decided that they're going to send a battle fleet out to visit Malachi and see what's actually going on. And it's a show of presence, and they're also looking to get more information on the state of affairs. So there's espionage going on, and we're actually finding out what happened to Boj. So how did Boj end up from the Galactica to the Pegasus? Well, that's in this, the Battle of Malachi. They tell us all about it. They also told us about the encounter between, or the initial relationship that Kane had with Cassiopeia, and how when his wife died, he met her, and how Sheba has this uh, hate relationship with Cassiopeia, because she feels that Cassiopeia is taking time away from her relationship and her mourning of her mother, and she has issues with that, which is very interesting. And then of course there's this transfer, um, and Baltar and Charybdis make an appearance, and it seems that wherever they go and then leave, things happen. And one of them is that there's an explosion on one of the landing bays on the Pegasus. A couple people were killed. The explosion is being investigated, and so what's happening is that the Pegasus is supposed to be the flagship of this Fifth Fleet, and there's three Battlestars that are involved in this fleet that's going to Molukai, and it's the Pegasus, the Battlestar Olympus, and the Battlestar Britannica, along with some other ships which we didn't bring up that are mentioned in this story, which is really cool. And like I said, it's really well written. So the Pegasus, because the explosion is holding back, the fleet has taken off, and now that's pretty much where we're at on chapter 3. Chris, you want to bring up a couple, make some points on what we didn't point out last chapter, chapter 2.
One of the things I wanted to point out last chapter, we didn't get to it, was so the Olympia, right? Olympus. The Olympus and the Britannica left. But what it says in here, which is kind of what it says in the book, too. I mean, if you remember the old, the original Battlestar Galactica book, they mention other ships besides Battlestars. In here, they mention cruisers.
Cruisers.
So they left with cruisers, escort cruisers as well. So it wasn't just a Battlestar by itself. This was a real fleet, just like if you're a regular Navy fleet, usually has the main ship, which is usually an aircraft carrier, and then, you know, you've got support ships like cruisers, destroyers, and fast frigates that surround there. So, and then I was on a fast frigate in the Navy. I know what that means is if you see a missile, you pull in front of it so it doesn't hit the big ship.
Whoa.
that was our standing orders.
Wow.
So we nicknamed our ship the Missile Sponge. So
wow.
So that's what you do is escort ships on the outside of the other one. You're there to take the big hits, make sure the big ship doesn't go down.
Carl was on a carrier.
Oh,
Which one, Carl? Yeah.
I wonder which carrier. I
And
wonder West
Zach
Coast or
Jordan's
East Coast.
with us live. Thanks for joining, Zach. So yeah, we got so that's kind of like what we're up to. So we got an inside on what the story may have been, and it's written by Lee Gall and Sharon Monroe, who we've been dying to try to get on our show, and you know we've been trying. We're putting out the feelers. Lee Gall is almost impossible to find as well, but you know we'll see, man. If we can, if anybody out there, if you guys have any connections to either one of them, Lee Gall or Sharon Monroe, please let them know that we want them to come on the show and want to talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
Carl says he was on the USS America, and I was on a John boat. Okay, and that's from Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. But all right, USS America, very cool. So, chapter 3.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
So this chapter starts out kind of like the beginning of the Battlestar Galactica book. They're on patrol, so there's a couple of people on patrol.
Yep.
So we get who are these? Gavin, Risson, and what was the other one?
So
Gavin and Risson, and they're both
those are the
from
two.
Battlestar Britannica.
No. Correct.
Yeah. So they're Battlestar Britannica. They're out on patrol, and they're, just talking back and forth, and they pick up a strange reading. So that reading, they go investigate. So they go to investigate, and these other ships outfly them. They get in behind them, and they're like, oh my gosh. And it turns out to be another patrol from the Battlestar Olympus. And they have some interactivity. They talk back and forth, some banter. And
Yeah. One of them's a major, though. There is a
yeah.
major involved. There's a
this is
major.
the ancient custom go back. One of them's a sister and brother connection.
Yes, the
So
major.
that's the major and the brother. And then
Yeah.
they're from the Olympus. And the banter backs and forth. And it's like, hey, watch how you talk about my home base tub,
Ha!
which goes back to bite them in later on.
Yes.
And it talks a little bit about what they look like, slender, what kind of. So they get off duty. They finally go back to their ship, get off duty.
Yep.
And because of the tub comment,
Yes.
they were given extra duty.
Yeah, the two pilots.
Yep.
The two pilots that made that comment, not the major, but the other two lieutenants, that comment they made, it cost them.
Yep.
So they end up getting assigned to do another duty rotation on top of what they just did, right? So they've been out on long patrol, and they may or may not have spotted something out there on the very fringes of everything. There was, I don't know, something going on. So there's the two separate Viper pilots from two different Battlestars. They interact. Then there's something coming up on their scanners. They're not sure what it is. And then all of a sudden, Chris, the Pegasus shows up. And the Pegasus is the closest Battlestar to all four of those pilots.
Right.
The Battlestar Pegasus comes up into their vicinity and their area of operation. So they report in to the Pegasus that they're picking something up on long range scanners. And so the two of the Viper pilots are able to bring in what is now it's a ship. They don't know what kind of ship it is, and they bring that on. The other two Viper pilots get back to their Battlestar, and they get the extra duty. And so they're assigned to there's a Solanite leak, and they have to provide security for it. And they're like, there's security teams that do that.
Solium.
Why the hell do we get that? And that's
Solium leak.
what you were saying, right,
Yes.
Chris?
They discover a small leak in the Solium, so they're removing all of these containers from the Solium storage to another
Yes.
location.
Yes.
So, which is fortuitous because we find something out later on.
Oh yeah.
So then we switch back over from their extra duty to the strange craft, and
Yeah.
the ships all land on the Pegasus, and Kane kind of gives them a once-over. Hey, welcome aboard. He's looking at these people, and he's like, I don't like this guy. I've heard of this guy. So he also makes a statement that he makes a priority to know everybody in his command, which when I read it, I thought they're getting assigned to the Pegasus. No, when he says command, he's in charge of the fleet. So he wants to know everybody in the fleet. So he knows all the Viper pilots. So he's taking these Viper pilots and looking at them. And he's like, okay, I know this one. This guy's a little a hot shot. This guy's good. This guy over here and this girl, their brother sister, the major and the brother sister, and he talks about how the colonials try, if they want to schedule, which is unlike the Navy, to schedule brother sister on the same ship, which in the real Navy you can't do that. They won't not since the what was it, the
World War II.
Yeah, World War II. The ship I think the seven brothers, or I can't remember the
Yeah, I
name.
think it's Pearl Harbor.
They lost all of the entire family on one ship,
Yeah,
so they don't do that anymore. So, but that's kind of what they're talking through here, and of course they're like they bring okay, so it starts out. Kane is bored. He's like, "There's not enough action going on. I gotta catch up." And when they finally gets this call, it's like, "Hey, these Viper pilots are bringing in a ship, a strange ship.
yeah.
They can't identify it." And that kind of gets, it piqued my interest. I'm like, what kind of ship is this going to be? And it kind of, they go through the war book. They talk about the war book in the computer on the Viper. It didn't work, so they have a bigger war book on the ship, and they're looking through the war book on the ship, and they can't find it. And I forget, maybe Pete will remember, one of the people on the ship said, "Hey, we got to look through the history banks. This ship
Yeah,
looks old."
right. So they said that their scanners are scanning only for like current configurations.
Right.
So they go to like ancient, like out of ships that are no longer in operation, that are like historical, and they're able to link up the design of what's in front of them with what's in their archive, and it might be Hasari. Right, so the Hasaris are people that were destroyed by the Cylons,
Yay!
and this is a long time ago. So this is kind of strange. Like, what's up with this ship? So that's part of the story. And then of course we said that on the other Battlestar, the other two pilots have gotten their extra duty assignment, and so there might be some leaking fuel, and they're going to that. So all of this is happening like simultaneously, except that we flip real quick. We go to the other Battlestar, and they send in a crew of techs to check out the actual leak. And when the Colonial Warriors get there, one of the tech tells them, "Step back, get back. There's some kind of unknown gizmo, some kind of a thing that doesn't belong there." And so they have to notify. They have to send out a notice like immediately, and so they're calling it in. They have to call it in and tell their superiors that something's wrong. There's an anomaly here. So it's not only the leak, but there's something else there. And that's all we get, right, Chris? We don't get any more information on
Nope.
that.
Got anything
We go
else?
back to the possible Hasari ship, and they're opening the ship up, right? So it's like a pod, and they're opening it up, and there's a life form inside. So there's a whole exchange
Right.
as
And
to
they're like,
what
like,
happened,
and
right?
Kane's ticked because I thought you scanned this thing. I didn't think it was a life form inside. So he's upset about that.
Right,
It's like,
which is cool because we're getting to find out all this information about like things that we wouldn't hear in the show. I've said this hundreds of times that when we're watching the classic, it's a fast-paced show. There's a lot going on, and they've crammed a lot of it in, and there's quick dialogue, and everything just moves real quick. And in this story, we know the characters, and they've captured them really, really well, which I'm super impressed with. And so now we're getting a little bit of what we never heard or had time to see play out in the original show, right? So Kane is meticulous, and he's detail oriented. And he's like, "Well, what do you mean there's life signs? There is or there isn't. What's going on?" And you get to see what makes him who he is. And it's really cool. I mean, it's written really well. And I know that a lot of you guys, that read other books that are based on franchises, that sometimes they don't capture the characters well. You're like, that person would never say that, or that character wouldn't act like that. So sometimes it's off, and you see it in comic books as well. you'll get somebody that draws that's not a fan, that doesn't know the story, and they draw something weird, or out of place, or it doesn't look like them. But more importantly, when you're reading, this though captures the characters, right, Chris? I mean, it's like you could see this play out as
Oh
if it's a
yeah,
movie in your head.
I definitely would think this could be like a prequel easily, like a made-for-TV movie that would
Oh
be
yeah, oh yeah,
prequel to the actual Battlestar. So kind of like Blood and
yeah,
Chrome was.
oh yeah. This
This would
could
have been a
easily be
really
two
good way
two
of
part.
going.
Oh yeah. So now, Chris, we're at the point where they pry open that ship.
Right. So yeah, they pry open the ship, and they find a life form on board, and the medical guys send in people, and Kane's like, all right, what's going on? Hurry up, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. That same, like you were saying before, that impatient, definite character that you would see in Battlestar Galactica, the Pegasus, he was well portrayed here. He's impatient. He's like, I should have known about this. Very
Yep.
demanding, very on top of things, wanting to know everything that's going on. So he hates to wait to find out. So they actually are able to get this female off the ship. And like it's a woman, and they're like, oh, well, you get her the life support, and it's just barely hanging on. And then they start looking inside the ship, and they, can you find, what's is she Hasari? We don't know much about them.
Right.
And actually, one of the things I liked in here, it says they have an actual log entry, and they're like, well, can't we understand it? Can we translate it? And they're like, well, we know the Hisari diplomatic tongue, but this is over a millennium ago.
Yep.
So we're talking, yeah, a long time ago. This is so that, just like language changes, so they're going to have to try to translate it to find out what's going on while they're trying to make the Hisari woman healthy enough to talk.
Right. So they extricate her from that ship, which might be a life pod, and the memory core, right, of the ship, of whatever that, whether it's a life pod or otherwise. They were able to take that out, and so now they're going to send that for evaluation, and of course Kane's all over it, which is cool, right? He's it's Commander Kane, and so he's now interacting with the Major, and so Kane invites them to stay,
Yeah,
right? So he's like, you guys can stay on the Pegasus, and if you're interested in finding out the outcome of this, since you
right.
guys were involved. And so they decide they are, and Sheba then takes the other pilots
The
and is
two
going
male
to,
pilots who are
yes,
very,
the male pilots.
yeah.
Yeah, so Kane stays with the Major, who's a female, and
Mhm.
then the other pilots are going to go with her to the officers' quarters, or
The mess, yeah.
uh, yeah, the
Club,
mess.
the O Club,
So yeah, that's right,
Pilots Club,
the BOQ. Yeah. So yeah,
and
that's
that's
it.
kind
So
of where
that
it
that's
ends.
that's where we'll leave it.
So now that the question is, are they going to be able to translate? Are they going to be able to talk to this person? Is the person going to recover? Why are they there? All these questions should be boiling in our minds
Oh yeah,
as the next chapter comes up. So we want to make sure what's going to happen next. What are we going to do? That's all there. Plus, now they found a secondary device
yep,
on another Battlestar. So what does that mean? Is there other devices? Is something going to
yep.
go off? Is something going to explode? What's going to happen? So these are all the questions that when you write something like this, that kind of fuels the reader into asking these questions, wanting to go to the next chapter.
Right.
If you don't have these questions, it's like, well, whatever. I want to go to the next chapter. You always ask, what if? What's now? What's going to happen next? What next? That's what makes this such a really good fan. I don't want to call it fan fiction. It's fan novel. It's a fan fiction novel, and I think it definitely written well enough to get you to that hook, that pull in.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah, to get you to go to the next chapter.
It's written really, really well. It's not just an essay. So this is really good, guys. It's called The Battle of Molukai. Highly recommend. It's on PDF out there. If you just
Carl.
look it up. Carl says sailor's motto: "Girl in every port."
Yep. And then don't forget what we talked about earlier about the one that lost all the brothers. Jeff reminded was the Sullivan brothers.
Sullivan Brothers, yes, yep. That's right. Yeah. Well, guys, I think, Chris, that's the end of the chapter.
Yep. It's a short night tonight.
And it is. Because it's Thanksgiving Eve here in the United States. And tomorrow's a big holiday. And we just wanted to give you guys a little something in case anyone wants to watch the show on Thursday or any day after that.
Right.
But
in case you didn't want to watch I usually watch, who is it that always play the Bears? No, it's always the Lions and somebody. So the Detroit Lions always play on Thanksgiving. So we used to watch that every Thanksgiving. Not that I'm a big football fan, but so in case you don't want to watch the football games tomorrow, you can pull this up and watch away.
That's right. And by the way, Cowboys says Carl, but
yep, Cowboys too.
Karen, thanks for joining us live. And George says, great show, guys. Thank you, George, Paul, and Cowboys. Yes, and Cowboys, George and Paul. Just, but yeah, hopefully Cylon Buddha will make the wish come true. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, Jeff Walters, thank you. I'm sure he will. Or she. I mean, it's a machine and it doesn't have a gender, so they, the Cylon, they will make the wish come true. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's a little bit of a short broadcast, but we wanted to make sure we got you something to watch on Thursday, and we try to make something every week. So usually it's Thursdays. So we want to thank you. We say happy Thanksgiving. Thank you to the fans. Be with your families and enjoy the togetherness of this holiday, and make sure you give thanks for all the things that you have received. And we have received a wonderful following and some wonderful fans and some wonderful friends. Oh, that's why Pete's over here. Wonderful friends. And and we want to just wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And got anything else, Pete?
No, that's pretty much it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the support. And stay tuned for our end of the year wrap up. We have some more guests lined up. And next year we'll start it off with some cool things. And, we got more coming on. And thanks, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Enjoy Thanksgiving. And here's to you. Fans fuel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you.